Hey Valley Creek, welcome to our special online-only service here on the last weekend of 2019. And wherever you're watching from, I want to just welcome you in. Right now, we are all over the city, all over the region, tuning in really all over the world. And what an amazing year 2019 has been for our church, and what amazing Christmas services we had. Thank you so much for inviting your friends and your family to come and experience the hope of Jesus. And next week, we're going to kick off 2020 with the beginning of a new year, and it's going to be incredible. But here we are on the last weekend of the year. And every year at Valley Creek, on the last weekend of the year, we shut everything down. We shut down our buildings and our campuses because we want everything to rest. We want our locations to rest. We want our amazing serve team members to rest. We want our leaders to rest, our staff to rest, because every week, hundreds and hundreds of people give everything that they've got to serve you, your family, our city, and our region. And so we just let everything rest on this weekend to get ready for what God has in store for us in the days to come. And so 2019, as a church, it was an amazing year. If you go all the way back to last January, we said our theme for 2019 was going to be to pioneer. We didn't even know what that meant when we rolled it out. We just said, this is going to be a year we're going to go into the unknown for the good of others and the glory of God. And that's what we've been doing all year. This year, we've been increasing and advancing, taking next steps, going to new places with God, moving forward in our lives, in our family, in our church, in our city, and in our culture. And we've taken more ground than I ever thought we would be able to. What's amazing is we are not where we're going, but we are so much farther than where we've been. And I realize for you, it's hard sometimes in our church to really realize how much ground we've taken. A lot of us, we only see the part that we're a part of. We only see the one service of our campus that we attend, or the one group we're a part of, or the one team that we're on. And sometimes we miss out on all of the moving parts of Valley Creek Church as a church for a region and all the amazing things that God has been doing. And so what we want to do for just the next few moments is I just want to share with you just kind of what God has done this year, the ground we've taken, the pioneering that's happened in our church, and it's because of you. Because you've taken next steps and moved forward and followed God, we've gone to new places together. And so what I want to invite you to do, just for the next few minutes, wherever you're watching from, just lean in and check this out. And I hope it creates a sense of awe and wonder in your heart and gratitude for what you're a part of and what God has been doing. And after these few moments, when we just kind of look at 2019 as a church, as a family on mission, I want to pull it all back together and then say, now, what does this mean for you? And how do we start 2020 together? So you open up your minds and your hearts, check this out, because we have taken some ground together. Our theme for 2019 is Pioneer. This is a year we're going to take new ground together. A pioneer is someone who moves forward with God into the unknown for the good of others and the glory of God. And so this year, we're going to pioneer. We're going to pioneer and take new ground in our lives, in our church, in our city, and in our culture.
This year, we've taken ground in Jesus' name. This is a chance for us to stop and reflect. It's a chance for us to celebrate. We're celebrating everything that Jesus has done in and through us as a family as we've pioneered together. No matter how long you've been here, this is your story.
So we believe that God is giving us a new vision for the next season. The new vision for our church is to be a movement of hope for the city and beyond. The way we do that is two things: harbors and hope carriers. And so our strategy is simply you, people. Our strategy is to help people take the next step on their journey with Jesus from lost to leaders. So our dream is to see you live God's dream for your life, and God's dream for your life is that you would be a hope carrier in this space. We are one church that meets at multiple campuses, but brings the hope of Jesus to thousands of locations. feel like God is inviting us to double down. So Missional Move, Hope for the City, is about going from 4 campuses that we have to 8 in the next 4 years. So we feel like God's inviting us to start a university campus. And then we want to do a campus in Gainesville. And then we feel like God is inviting us to start one in Northlake, Argyle, or Roanoke. And the 4th one, we have no idea. What if we just drew a big circle around North Texas and said, we're gonna own it in Jesus' name. Let's own it. Let's give our life to something that matters. That's a movement of hope.
People have been joining teams, becoming leaders, and sacrificially giving all year. And to date, over $6 million has been given.
And if every one of us who made a commitment fulfills that commitment, and if every one of us who took a next step in the direction of generosity keeps moving in that direction, and we keep reaching people over this next season, we will be able to do everything God is inviting us to do.
Buttons, look at me. Yeah. Today we're talking about how God is good.
Oh, God is good. Okay, yeah. Now I understand.
Every week, our infant to 5th graders meet to have fun and discover Jesus. This year, we've made every kid's experience even more engaging by creating our own characters and curriculum to help kids always remember our 4 core truths.
A laser field! That'll be impossible to cross. But everything is possible. You're right, Roger. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, we invite you in. We need you to guide us.
One of our goals in 2019 was to take ground in the area of prayer.
Wherever you want to lead us, God, we're confident to go there because you've already gone before us.
Every Tuesday night prayer got better and better over the course of the year as we prayed for ourselves, our church, and our cities.
What we're going to do is we're going to thank God for the ground that we have taken, and we're going to ask Him to lead us to even go deeper, to double down on where He has taken us.
Invite Him to silence every voice that says you are not loved and only hear His voice of love. Right now, He declares to you, you are loved.
Valley Creek isn't made up of members. We're building an all-in community. And this January, we got together as a movement of hope.
Sometimes heavenly decisions make no earthly sense.
Sometimes we just need to take a break. And so I got good news for you. Spring break is coming up.
I want to talk to you today about taking a break from trying to fix everything.
During our spring baptisms, across all campuses, 132 people said that Jesus is Lord and they will follow Him.
And so we're going to start a new series today called Blind Spots, and we're going to talk about taking some ground in here that maybe we don't really see, because you see, what's easy to see in others is really, 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 really hard to see in ourselves. Everywhere you look, everywhere you move, the people you love, the people you live with, what are they doing? They're dipping, they're dodging, they're ducking, they're jumping, they're trying to figure out where you got a sweeping log, man.
Inviting our friends, family, and people in our city, over 13,000 people encountered hope on Easter.
So let's just kick it off tonight by talking about what is freedom.
Twice this year, hundreds of people have gotten together at Freedom Gathering to learn how to experience more of the freedom that Jesus offers.
Happy Mother's Day! Happy Mother's Day and welcome to Valley Creek Church. We are so grateful to have you with us here today, and it's a special day because we get to celebrate every woman in this place.
Our second class of VCLA graduated, and we started a new year with our biggest class of VCLA so far, with 17 new students. Our worship team has been writing songs all year long that lead us into the presence of God. They've written 18, and thousands of people outside of Valley Creek are listening on Spotify.
I want to start a new series today called Reclaim. And for the next few weeks, I want to talk about taking back what I've lost.
Reclaim was a life-changing series for so many people. We also pioneered in having response weekends at the end of key message series. And over 1,500 people celebrated all that Jesus reclaimed for them at Reclaim Worship Night.
See, I believe God has been moving so powerfully in this series. It's been so big that we just need to stop for a weekend and just honor what He's been doing. Before we move forward into anything else or the next series or whatever, what are we gonna do with what God has been saying?
This summer, every ministry took time to simplify and made it easier to serve, connect, and grow at Valley Creek. As a result of our ministry resets, we have interest gatherings, team nights, and even more that we've yet to discover.
As of about a week or two ago, we officially closed on our Gainesville campus location. So let me show you this. This is our new Gainesville campus. It is right off the 35. You can see it in the background there. It's right off the 35, 22,000 square feet. It's an old hardware store, and I know some of you are looking at this right now and you're like, that doesn't look very nice. We're gonna reclaim it in Jesus' name is what we're gonna do. Come on, look at this space. Can you just imagine the people that are lost, lonely, and broken that are gonna come into this space and have an encounter with the hope of Jesus?
To date this year, over 1,300 people have gone through First Step class, and we launched Second Step classes this summer. Our teaching team has taken a lot of ground, especially this summer.
We're called to be kind to one another.
Live at peace with one another.
Bearing with one another.
Every summer, we love to take time to build relationships and connect as a family. So every week this summer, we made friends over food and games. We also had kids summer, young adults retreat, on-campus groups, and we even collected 3,000 shoes for kids in need. And oh yeah, Hub Summer had over 1,000 students and staff meet Jesus at Hub Camp.
You can't do it on your own. You weren't meant to, you're not created to, you need a supernatural source of power. But the good news is, if you put your faith in Jesus, if you've begun this journey with Jesus, you already have access to all of it.
You know it is a groups leader team night when you all talk all during the video. It's because it's a bunch of group leaders that are excited to talk and be together. I'm so glad that you are here.
This year, we introduced team nights. Being on a serve team is one of the greatest ways to move forward on your journey with Jesus.
Let's start a new series today called Unhurried, How to Have a Summer Life in the Midst of a Fall Calendar. And we're starting a new series today called The Ascent, Going to New Places with God.
The Lord gave us so much killer content this year, and it's all on YouTube. And our production team took ground for our Denton and Venue campuses with massive audio, video, and lighting upgrades. For their amazing work in LISD schools, our Next Step Center received 3 awards, and they're transforming the city one life at a time. In September, we took a big step of faith and moved Thursday services to Sunday to prepare for our new campuses. For years, we've had a dream of seeing students take a next step into leadership. And this fall, 188 students took that step into Hub's Student Leadership Experience, where we're raising up the leaders of Generation Hope. September 8th was a huge weekend for Valley Creek. 172 people were baptized. One of the most exciting things is that 49 of those were students. and we gave out 15,000 shirts as a reminder to people that they are a hope carrier, no matter how old they are.
We're going to start a new series today called Face Your Giants. And for the next few weeks, I want to talk about the giants in our lives, the things that are holding us back, the stuff that keeps us from moving forward. And in Jesus' name, we're going to figure out how to face the giants that keep us from the life that God has for us. You don't have to be afraid of your giant because your giant is terrified of you. The giants of darkness are just hoping that the people of God will never figure out who they really are. So stop looking at God through your giant. Start looking at your giant through your God. I'm super excited to announce to you that we have officially purchased and closed on land for our next campus, and it is going to be Argyle. Here's where it is, 35 West and 407 Valley Creek, Argyle will exist right here in this space. This is probably one of the best pieces of property anywhere out here. It's amazing because it allows us to reach all that's happening in Argyle, all of Northlake, Justin, Razor Ranch, 35 and 407. This is an amazing spot. We are literally, look, here's what I want you to see. We are creating the future together.
This year, our host team became the guest experience team because we believe that one encounter with Jesus changes everything. So we set the environment every week for people to encounter Jesus. Every week, our 6th through 12th grade Hub students meet to discover Jesus, find friendship, make a difference, and change their world. Over 1,300 first-time guests came to Experience Hub on a Wednesday night. Right before Thanksgiving, 100 more people got baptized. That's 404 people this year. Groups is where you discover Jesus and find friendship. And this year, we relaunched Group Leaders with more tools. And thousands of people are in groups taking next steps together. This Thanksgiving, our family came together to feed over 1,000 families in need. There was even enough left over to fill up multiple local food banks. Because you prayed, served, and invited, thousands of people's lives were filled with the peace and hope of Jesus this Christmas. All year, we've been intentional about reaching new people and encouraging everyone with Jesus-focused content on social media. We've seen huge growth, and you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we can't forget, we also put new signage in every campus, helped our ministry partner in India, Pastor Koshi, buy his first ever building, released a kids' worship CD, paved Flower Mound parking lots, and read 392 chapters in our reading plans. Woo! All year, we did what the church does best. We've worshiped and prayed together, comforted and forgave one another. We've celebrated and mourned together. We've loved God and loved one another. Because of you, we've taken ground, moved mountains, and killed giants. Because you serve, lead, and give, thousands of people have experienced the hope of Jesus. We're not where we're going, but we are so much farther than where we've been. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year that we would have taken this much ground? And we'll keep taking ground together because we are a movement of hope.
Come on. That's what you are a part of. That is what God has been doing in Valley Creek Church. And Valley Creek Church is not a building, it's a people, and it's you. And whether you're just joining us or you've been here for years, we are a family on mission. And in a lot of ways, that's like looking at home movies of your family from 2019. That's how God's been moving and responding to us. That's where we've been taking next steps and taking new ground. And it is a privilege to be a part of what God is doing on this earth at this time through this place, this family, these people called Valley Creek. And so what I want to encourage you to do for the next few moments is that's where we've taken ground together, but how about you? If you look back on 2019, where have you taken ground? Where have you pioneered or moved forward or taken some next steps? And so whoever you're watching this with, whether it's your family or your friends, I just want to encourage you, just take a few minutes and just talk about this one question. Where have you moved forward in 2019? And at first you might think, I didn't move as far as I want to, or all these places that I wanted to take ground in and I did. You are not where you're going, but you're so much farther than where you've been. And in Jesus, there's no shame and no condemnation. There's gratitude, that there's grace flowing into our lives, drawing us along, whether we realize it or not. So let me just encourage you to end 2019 by just talking about where have you taken ground, sharing it with each other, and then just giving thanks to God. And if you're watching this by yourself somewhere, grab a journal or a notebook, write that question down, and just you and God, just journal it out, talk to Him, and kind of realize where you've come from, where you've been moving, where God is leading you, and then just give thanks. Gratitude does some profound things in our hearts as we end a year that positions us to start a new year. You see, 2020 is going to be an amazing year for our church. Next week, we're going to kick off a brand new series called Jesus, More Than Enough, and we're going to start a new year and a new decade by just talking about Jesus, who He is and what He really means to our lives and why He is the most relevant thing in our world. And then we're going to move forward later this month in January. We're going to roll out the new theme for 2020. We're going to follow God, and it's going to be an absolutely incredible year. And so I want to encourage you. End 2019 with gratitude, some reflection, and then start 2020 by putting God first. Jesus tells us, seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. In other words, put me first, and I'll take care of the rest, is what Jesus says to us. So what would it look like for you to decide right now that Jesus is first in 2020? You see, in my life, every year I want Him to be first, and not just for a new year, for a new decade. And part of doing that is saying, man, I'm going to gather as the church. And I'm going to be there every week, and I'm going to take a next step, and I'm going to start the year by giving. I don't want to wait till the end of the year to give. I want to start a new year by giving to God and connecting my heart to Him. And I want to go to a first step class or get in a group or join a team. Like, what would it look like if you just said, God, you're first in my new year and in my new decade, and I'm going to let you take care of everything else in my life. 2020 is going to be an amazing year together as a church family, and I can't wait to see what He does in your life. Valley Creek, come on. What a journey we are on together. Wherever you are watching this from, we are one church that meets at multiple campuses that carries the hope of Jesus to thousands of locations. And right now, wherever you are, that is a location of Valley Creek, because you are Valley Creek. In 2020, we're moving forward together. And so here in a moment, when this finishes up, our YouTube is going to go to an autoplay to a new song that our worship team has just released. We just started singing it at the end of the year together, and really in a lot of ways, this song came out of what we've done this year. It's kind of a declaration of the year, but it's really a prophetic declaration of the year to come. This song, in a lot of ways, can be your theme song for a new year and a new decade, that there is always more. So I want to encourage you to listen to it, stream it, start worshiping to it, and let these words be a declaration of your life in the days to come. For those of you that want to give end of the year giving or give special gift to the missional move, Hope for the City that we're in, you can give right now online, or as long as it's postmarked by December 31st, it'll be part of your year-end giving of 2019. Let me encourage you, that's a part of what we're doing so all those amazing things can keep happening. God moves through our generosity as we respond to His grace. Valley Creek, I love you. 2019, we've gone to new places with God, and we're going to start a new decade together by lifting up the name of Jesus. I love you. We'll see you next week. Happy New Year.